The single-player campaign in Empire Earth 2 spans the entire range of epics in the game, starting from the Stone Ages and going up through the near future. There's 3 campaigns. One is set in the Korean Peninsula, and that's the earliest campaign. The next is set in Germany, handles the Middle Ages, and the final campaign is the American campaign, which takes us from around 1900 through the mid-21st century, mid to late 21st century. And each of these campaigns had one designer in charge of it who did a lot of research into the battles, the historical figures, the equipment that was used, and each campaign historically represents the major battles that happened to each of those civilizations, Koreans, Germans, and Americans, during the early, mid, and late epics of Empire Earth 2. In Empire Earth 2, we paid a lot of attention to the detail of the different civilizations. Each of the units has a look and motions that are historically accurate. We spent a lot of time in pre-production researching every sort of unit we wanted in the game and making sure that each of the 370 plus combat units had a distinct look, and each one of the 200 buildings was identifiable from its region and its civilization. One of the things that we wanted to really address in Empire Earth 2 was what we call the furball effect, where combat was just a ton of units that gather in the middle of the screen and slug it out. In Empire Earth 2, formations play a bigger part in the game. You can set your units into a few different sorts of formations. You can set them to different aggression levels, which dictates how tightly they stay in their formation. And the combat has a much more cinematic look, and it's also much more controllable. At Mad Dog, we felt it was important to have Empire Earth 2 appeal to both beginning players and to the expert users. There are things that make it easier for the beginning player to get into the game, such as the Citizen Manager, which lets you control bigger civilizations much more easily by being able to assign your citizens to the resources you want them assigned to. We've put in all sorts of features that let you see more of the map, such as the picture-in-picture window. We've put in a full screen map, which lets you see everything that's going on at once. At the same time, we've added depth for the experienced player. The experienced player now has better control over their bigger civilizations with the Citizen Manager again, but they also have the depth of strategy that comes from the territories, that comes from the advanced diplomacy system, that comes from the crown system, where a player who wants to play economically can go after the economic crown, whereas one who wants to play militarily can go after the military crown, and someone else can go after the imperial crown. We've added a lot of depth, but kept the game easy to get into. I'm pretty excited that in Empire Earth 2 we were able to tie in with another great property. We have a tie-in in the later epics with the Earthsiege property, and we have Herx in the game. So people who are fans of that intellectual property and that franchise will get a little kick out of the later epics of Empire Earth 2.
Rated T for Teen.